This week's Piltch Point with Avram Piltch is proudly powered by Monster products. The headphones on my head right now, the Monster Elements, available in on-ear and over-ear. But there's also Bluetooth speakers like the tiny little Hot Shot and the giant Monster Rave box. Kind of a product for everybody, from on-ear, over-ear, in-ear headphones, Bluetooth speakers, waterproof, and then of course cables to connect all of your stuff. And all of that is available by going to PLUGHITZLive.com/monster. And that music means that it is time for the Piltch Point with online editorial director of Laptop Magazine and Tom's Guide, Avram Piltch. Avram!
Hey!
It's been a big week.
It has been a big week at tomsguide.com and laptopmag.com, where I'm the editorial director. And obviously lots of new products coming in. And one of them I have right here. And I actually could use the audience's help if anyone's around and sees this, say, in the next few hours, because I'm gotta make a buying decision. I'm going to buy one of these two phones. And I borrowed them from work because we bought them at work for a couple at work for testing.
Okay.
This here is the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus and the Samsung Galaxy S8. This is the difference in size. So one of them has a 5.8-inch screen and one of them has a 6.2-inch screen. But it's not even actually this is what you would expect, because of the aspect ratio is what, 18:9?
Something like that.
So it's a very both of them have the same resolution, which is 2960 by 1440. No, I had to cheat sheet that. I couldn't remember it. But anyway, so these phones, I have a particular need to buy them because I'm switching. My wife and I have vowed to switch carriers.
Okay.
And we've been waiting for this to come out to do our switch. So like, my phone is in terrible shape. Her phone is in terrible shape. We're very unhappy right now with our current carrier, so we're really eager to do this. We've been waiting for these to come out. We actually went to store yesterday to try and get it, and they were out, so I have to actually order online. I guess there's been a run on these. So my question is which to get, but let me first tell the audience who may not be familiar with these what they are and what they do. So the Galaxy S8, they both are very similar except for the size. The Galaxy S8 regular, this runs Android 7. It is super thin. It is 0.3 inches thick. It is very sort of vertically oriented because of the aspect ratio. It's sort of more like a candy bar.
It is 2.05. So 2-to-1, 18 by 9. 2-to-1.
Yeah, 18 by 9. It weighs only 5.5 ounces. It's very light. Let's put it that way. Very light. It comes with a Snapdragon 835 processor, but honestly, I'm not as concerned about that, which is the latest processor. But let's be honest. What you really care about is the internet speed, and how does it take pictures, and how's the screen, and how's the battery life,
and how does it hold.
And how's it hold? So this is easier to hold than the big one. The big one is, has a 6.2-inch screen. Both of them are light enough. I mean, my current phone weighs more than these. But this one is a whole 6.3 inches tall. So my main concern about this is my hand gets a little sore trying to hold it. But beyond that, will it, like, it's so tall, will it like fall out of my pocket when I sit down?
That's an interesting concern.
It's a weird concern, but this is actually taller than my other phone, than my old phone, which was a Galaxy Note7, I might add. So that's how old my phone is. And never had a problem with that one falling out of my pocket, but this is actually significantly taller than that. I was wearing it in some jeans yesterday. It was fine, but the normal pants I wear, I don't know. When you have an $850 phone, you don't want it slipping out of your pocket.
Right.
So this phone here, the S8, costs $750. This one here costs $850. The good news is, if you're buying it from a carrier and you have decent credit, you don't have to spend that right up front.
Right.
Which I would be. So They have really colorful screens. They're supposed to be both the same, but as Scott and I were talking about before we went on the air, and you won't get this through my webcam, I'm sure, is that the larger screens seemed to be more vibrant to us. Scott has seen them also.
Yes.
Seen different, not the ones in my hands.
Right.
Scott has actually seen both models, but not these. So he's seen different units.
And anybody who's watching the live shot sees an S8 Plus in my shot.
Yes. So you know, that's the interesting question. Now, on our first battery test run, the battery difference was very slight. The S8 Plus got only half an hour, got about 11 hours, and this got about 10 and a half. Yesterday, I did a run at my house, and the two in my hands here are both on T-Mobile. The one this got only 10-12, and this got 12 hours and 2 minutes.
Wow.
So it was a nearly 2-hour difference. You would think that the difference wouldn't be too severe because this one has a 3,500 milliamp hour battery and this one is a 3,000. But remember, the larger battery also has to power a larger screen, which means, a larger screen always uses more juice. But somewhere in there, the 500 extra milliamp hours actually means that you're getting more battery life, even though you're powering a bigger screen. So, and that, if it's really 2 hours of battery life, that could be important.
Sure.
That could be quite useful. Because, our battery test is a continuous test of web surfing, but as a person goes throughout the day, waking it up, putting it to sleep, playing videos, playing games, 20%, if the battery life difference is 20%, that might be the difference between charging and not.
Right.
So, it's definitely concern. I think my main concern is going to fall out of my pocket. I have to say, for typing, I find, and at my office we have an interesting split. Two of my coworkers have already bought this for their personal phone. Cherie, whom you know,
yes,
bought the Galaxy S8 Plus.
Okay.
Because she said she has large hands and she wants the bigger phone. And
because the hitboxes on the keyboard will be bigger.
Yeah, I found that typing on the bigger one was easier. I made fewer mistakes because there's more space and between the keys and more space on the keys.
Yeah.
So that's definitely the case. I guess it's just a matter of now Sam Rutherford, who's one of our staff, one of our writers, he did the opposite because he said that this felt too bulky. So there you have it, two different perspectives on the same thing. But for those who are not, who just want to know, should you get the S8 or get either of them? The camera seems to be pretty good. It's supposed to actually be better than the iPhone 7. We did some tests. It beat the iPhone 7 camera and it beat the LG G6 camera.
Okay.
It's 12 megapixels and then the front camera is 8. And if I have one moment, I'll actually show one picture I took with this yesterday. And then share screen.
And of course, cameras are one of the things that Samsung has excelled at for a number of reasons. One of which, of course, being the fact that they also make cameras.
Yes. So, can you see the picture now?
Yes.
Yesterday we were my wife and I were at a convention. So people had their own working R2D2s.
I was going to ask where because there's a picture of you with them.
Yes.
Online.
We went to a friend of ours is a vendor at these things. There's a small sci-fi convention out here called LI Geek. They actually don't have too many people, but one of the groups there are these folks who make their own working R2 units.
Nice.
And they had these two. I'm not sure if the pink one is like where the pink one comes from or if that's just their invention. I think their pink one might have been briefly in one of the movies, but anyway, yeah, so there's someone in the background over there who actually has remote control for controlling it. It's not sentient. But it looks really realistic. So, Anyway, I think the picture came out pretty decent. The camera has optical image stabilization. It's got it does a good job in low light, and it's fast. So for me, having a good camera is very important now, because I don't really use my regular camera very much at all.
Right.
So
R2KT, just in case you're curious.
So
that's the pink one. R2KT.
Yes. At various shows, I've seen different people. Different people with different types of R2s.
Of R2 units. Yeah, there's all kinds of R2 units out there.
There's my favorite one was the one that's actually a beer dispenser. But that wasn't at this show. That was when I was at Dragon Con a few years ago. That one that's a beer dispenser.
Got it.
But anyway, those are the two phones. They're available on all the four major U.S. carriers for $750 or $850, roughly speaking. We recommend them. We like them. All evidence points to the battery being safe. So if you get this message, I'm curious what you think. Would you get the S8 Plus or would you get the S8?
Obviously, since there's an S8 Plus sitting on my desk, I think people can probably guess which direction I went.
I might just do a commute test tomorrow and put it in my pocket because I take a train every day, and just see if it starts to fall out. Because that's my biggest concern. I used to have a cell phone that would always fall out, and I ended up losing it 3 times. Fortunately, those were the days when we had feature phones, and so nobody actually wanted it. It was like calls from people, "Hey, we found your phone." If I lost it, I'm sure somebody would enjoy it. So
yeah, you remember those days when people would call you and be like, "Hey, we found your phone."
Yeah, that's I'm not counting on that happening with this. So if there's any doubt about it possibly sliding out of my pocket, I think I'll get the smaller one. But they both look really good. I really like the curved display. I think that looks fantastic.
Yeah. You mentioned that you're switching carriers. One of our companies recently switched carriers, and that's where this guy came from. We switched carriers specifically to be able to hop between GSM devices, which obviously has been a problem if you're on a CDMA carrier. So, Verizon and Sprint makes it really difficult to swap devices, whereas T-Mobile or AT&T makes it real easy. And as a developer, having the ability to swap devices on a whim is kind of nice. And so Carrier was offering a really good discount, a BOGO on the Galaxies. So we went that way. Yeah.
Is that because you're a business? Because I didn't see that.
Nope.
That deal.
Nope. It was anybody.
Oh. Anyway,
I know at least 2 of the 4 have been offering it. I heard a Sprint commercial mention it too. So at least 2 of the 4 are doing it. And so we're like, all right, well, at that price, it's basically the price of a low end phone. So yes, we will go with one of the Galaxies. And I held both of them. I looked at the screen, sitting in the store, looking at them both before they came out. And I'm like, I like the bigger one. I like the way it holds, and my business partner agreed. So that's me. But again, there's a reason why they make both, because not everybody.
I think most people are not going to spend the extra $100.
Right.
That's my thought.
Agreed. But yeah, definitely let us know if you're in the chat room tonight. Let us know in the chat room because I think Avram is ready. Is really what it comes down to. I think he's ready to not be with the Note 3 anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I had 3.5 years.
Right.
It's if I could send a message back to 2014 or 2013 when I got it, I would say you definitely making a good choice because this phone is going to last forever. You know,
That's. I am always surprised when I hear that you still have that phone. It continuously surprises me.
yeah, it's really been a matter of the network and like trying to decide when we want to switch and if we
Yeah.
want to switch, because we've been very unhappy with the kind of connectivity we've been getting with our
Sure.
existing company.
Sure. It makes
We've
sense.
been waiting for the right moment with a new phone that we really want to make the move.
Makes sense. Well,
Yeah.
obviously, as always, we appreciate the information because, as everybody can see, mine is still in a box. I haven't done an unboxing video, so mine is still in a box. It won't be in about an hour, probably.
Well,
But
I can mention
you
that
have seen it in action.
more than I've seen in action. I should mention, I neglected to mention, we have a lot of content on this on tomsguide.com. If you go to tomsguide.com, you'll see our review of the Galaxy S8. You'll see our S8 versus S8 Plus, which wasn't enough to help me make up my mind, but might help you. You see our S8. If you already bought one, you'll see our numerous tips on it. So we've got a lot, and maybe most importantly, our camera showdown between this and the iPhone 7, where you can see side-by-side pictures of the same thing that were taken at the same time with both.
That's awesome. Well, definitely something that people should check out. The camera thing is always fun to see that side by side. So, obviously, you'll be around for the rest of the main show.
Yep.
But as far as the Piltch point is concerned, we will see you in 2 weeks because we will be off next week for a travel week.
Well, I will be enjoying my week off, and I hope you enjoy New Orleans.
It's the first time, I think, for the entire team, so it should be interesting. All right, we will see you back in 2.